Hey guys, Ryan Earnhardt here from CreativeSoundLab.tv. Well, somebody asked me once, what if I recorded in my worst room and then showed you guys how to make it better? Well, that's exactly what I did today with a drum set in the very front lounge of the studio. It's got a crazy reverb, low ceilings, flutter echoes. It's really not suitable for recording, but I want to show you today how I really transformed it into a great recording room. Let's check it out. Okay, so we're actually in that room right now. This is the front lounge of my studio, and it's got 7-foot high ceilings for most of it, and then some higher ceilings that go up, and then kind of an overhang. This building used to be an appliance store in this downtown area of this town, so there used to be appliances in the front window. I have those blocked off now, but there's just some weird angles to the room. It's actually a great reverb chamber, and I've used it for vocal, trumpet, really anything that I want some three-dimensional depth to. It's a fantastic sounding reverb. But I've never tried recording drums in this room until today to film this episode. And I have a few different demos for you that really just kind of step it up one by one and really taming this room, reeling it in, and making it, I think, a pretty good tracking room. So this first example is a room wide open. There's a carpet under the drum set and nothing else. Now in this next example, I add some absorption behind the drum kit. So the idea is to add absorption in the place that would reflect the sound from the source to the mic. So it's about halfway the height from the source to the height of the overheads. Okay, so we can really hear the room start to tighten up. Now, if you didn't quite catch it, go back and listen to the stereo field. You can really start to hear where the toms and various elements of the kit are located. It's very important. It's not just about the sound of the reverb of the room, but it's also about being able to tell where different elements of the kit actually are placed in the stereo field. This next example, we start to tighten up some secondary reflections. So I add a panel on the bar here, and I add a panel just in front of the door here, just to tighten up the room in general. Let's check it out. Okay, so again, a little bit better of a difference, okay? It's just getting tighter and tighter. Now it's, I think, sounding pretty good. I would totally really use this as is, but I still have some flutter echoes right here where I'm standing. I have a concrete floor, I have a low ceiling, so what I'm doing now is I'm rolling out a carpet. It's a really ugly carpet that I found in a trash can, but you know what? For acoustics, it'll do. Okay, so I really start to like this room even more as it gets just a little more dead. Now, from here, it's more about just controlling the sound between the overheads in the room. Now, in a previous video, a lot of you mentioned that you liked my live room just wide open. But, you know, there's really no control. You know, it's coming into that overhead. You have no control of how much room is actually in the mix. And so I'd actually prefer just a slightly more dead room, and then have a cleaner overhead, and then add some additional mics that are at a further distance from the kit that would get a more room sound. Therefore, you can dial it in or dial it back, depending on whatever's needed in the mix. So with this example, we're throwing up just a couple SM57s and an XY configuration. Just something real quick, just to see what this sounds like as a pair of room mics. the idea here is just to encourage you all to really just try, okay? If you don't like the room, rearrange it, try different things, try adding different things. If you clean a room, it gets, more bright. If you add more junk to the room, it really deadens it. If you add furniture, it'll really muffle the room as well. So just always keep experimenting. That's really the goal of this video, is to encourage you guys of, wow, look how much variation is in just this room here. This was an appliance store. It is in no way meant to be a recording room. And yet these drums, I think they sound pretty good. I think these are usable tracks. I didn't really mess with the mics or anything. This is not, trying to showcase my mic technique or anything. This is just a quick mic setup. And hey, this is what it got me with just a few very quickly placed panels. So if anything, it's to encourage you, hey, throw up some panels, just try to experiment to get your drum sounds. It really will pay off, because this kind of stuff you can't fix during the mix. I'll talk to you soon.